Hi. Wow, look at these brows. Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist with some serious brows going. These are dark. I don't know why these look so dark today. Yikes. Okay, so let's do our makeup because it'll dye these down, I promise. All right, I want to talk about texture. Let's talk about skin texture. Okay, so right now I'm just putting on my Milk Hydro Grip. I always prep my face with the primer, and I want to talk about not just breakout texture because I'm hormonal, so I've got a couple of things in. We're going to cover them up, and I'm going to show you some tricks because this is not in a, we're just going to talk about it, okay? And I want to talk about pores, and I want to talk about under eye texture. My hair's driving me crazy. All right, here's the deal. Skin is a texture. There is no skin out there anywhere that doesn't have pores. Some pores are bigger than others, but everybody has a texture. Skin is a texture, okay? And so thinking that you're gonna find a makeup product that's going to get rid of it is just not going to happen. It's makeup, not magic. And most of the times when you're trying to cover something, you end up accentuating something. So here's the deal. I use Seint makeup, cream-based 3D foundation. I have tips, I have tricks, but I am not a magician. I am not a miracle worker, and no one is. But the deal is, less is more. More doesn't mean better. I had problematic skin. I used to break out from cystic acne. Now those things are big, and then you pick them because they're not really a breakout. It's a cyst, and it sounds disgusting, but with those, I learned a lot of lessons that have helped me navigate. I've also learned a lot of lessons of playing with people's faces. That's one of the things that I love about doing this, is that I get to invite my friends over and play with their faces. So let's get started because I gotta dye down these brows. So one of the things that I find is helpful, I've tried the Poreless primer, and for me, I didn't notice a difference. And it's really accepting the fact that my skin is a texture. I think we get wrapped up in filters. And this makeup is the closest thing to a filter you're gonna find. And that's because I've tried it all. I have maturing skin. I am 43 years old, okay? I'm in the fried green tomatoes of my life here. I am too old to be young, and I am too young to be old. And everybody that's young tells me, and everybody who's old tells me. So I know this, okay? I'm not unaware of this, but I've played with makeup on women in their 90s. I have done makeup for girls in their 20s. I have been in my 20s. I've been in my 30s. And what happened was my makeup was cracking on my smile lines, gathering around my nose, creasing, creping, funky under my eyes, and I don't do the thing, so I have the stuff. I find density helps. Density doesn't fix it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a contour because it's dense. I'm going to use a cream because creams make a seamless finish, and these all will work together, whereas powders and foundations are not going to work as well together. They can work together, but they're not going to work as well as a cream to cream. So we're going to take some Aspen. Okay, this is a contour. It is gray and it is dense. Okay, and I'm going to sweep this over my redness. Now, I'm not putting a lot on. I'm just very lightly flushing this over my pores. This is where my pores are large. And I just sweep this over, and I use this to help hide my pores without filling my pores, because we don't want to fill the pores. You really don't want to look poreless, because if you do put makeup on that makes you poreless, it's going to make your skin break out, it's going to dry out your skin, and it's going to mature your skin. If you don't take care of a car, it's going to look like a hunk of junk. Same with your face. If you don't take care of it, it's going to look like a hunk of junk. I mean, I didn't take care of my skin. I had cystic acne. I picked it, and I tried to fill in the craters that looked like volcano eruptions on my face, and I didn't take care of my face, and now it looks kind of like a hunk of junk. Okay, like, let's be real. I didn't wear enough SPF. I've got hyperpigmentation. I didn't take care of my skin properly. I slept in my makeup. I didn't always wash my face every day. And now I have some hunk of junks around my face. Let's be honest. I'm using a very harsh term, but I have scarring for a reason, and it's because I didn't take care of my skin. And so with that, there's things I have to do, but I'm no longer trading off hiding my problems and creating texture, because that was the trade-off. I had that powdery chalk skin, but you couldn't see my acne scars. But instead, you just saw a pile of makeup. So I was trading one problem for another problem, but then I tried cream. And what happened for me was this. I saw somebody wearing Seint makeup in the sunlight, and I know I'm talking more than I'm doing, but honestly, I saw somebody wearing the makeup and I saw the light hit their face, and that's what changed it for me. That's what made the difference for me. I don't care what's in it. I don't care what it costs. I want to see results. And when I saw the light hit their face and I saw what their makeup looked like in direct sunlight, that's when I said I need to try the makeup. Now, I love this makeup and I talk about it all the time because I like it. You don't buy it from me, I don't care. You want to learn something from me? Great. I love having you here. And so these are the tips that work for me. So using something dense to prep my skin helps me because I'm not clogging my pores. I'm lightly sweeping this over to help minimize the appearance of my pores. They're still going to be seen, but it's really just to reduce the redness of my acne scarring because it's just always going to be a problem. Now I have hyperpigmentation because I've just never been good about sunscreen. I am now. This makeup has titanium dioxide in it too, so it has a natural sunblock. You still need sunscreen for skin, but this also is super great by the pool. All right, so now I'm going to go into another dense color called Suede. It's a lip liner. You can also use a contour like walnut. Depends on your skin tone. Talk to me. Let's figure it out. Let's customize your palette because it's 100% customizable. And I'm going to go around my hyperpigmentation, all around it and up. Now, I have some hormonal breakouts here that are raised and above the skin. Same down here. It is that time for me. And so we're going to address those in a minute. I never cover my zits first. I cover them last because Seint is super pigmented. It's 80% pigmentation. And so I like to create camouflaging techniques like I am with Suede right now. Aspen was here to give me more of a muting, a veil of gray to cover the red. This is hiding my hyperpigmentation so that my contour doesn't pull it through or my blush doesn't pull it through because it can. All right, so I'm going to take those things. Now, when I'm trying to hide my under eyes, I have darkness, I have puffiness, and I have maturity. I've got fine lines coming in. And so for me, what I use is a balm, and it's in my palette, and everything is in here. 70% of your morning routine is spent, not morning routine, your makeup routine is spent looking for your products. And here you get to save time, not because just this is fast makeup once you figure it out, but you're not digging through anything. You know exactly where everything is because you put it there, and you put it right where you need it, and you can get right to it. All right, I am going to use two options here. We could take Frenchia Lip and Cheek. It's $16 and it's quick. So I just go over my darkness and I cover it, okay? Or you can take a demi color, and these are really great for if you have really mature under eyes. So with I'm trying to find my brush while I talk. Really mature under eyes, here's what happens is there's lots of wrinkles, there's lots of texture, and you don't want to accentuate it. So I use demi and I prep it with that balm still. And so with that, you need very little makeup and you want much less makeup under those eyes because it is a movable area and there are fine lines. So what I do is, and everybody's different on their color. So I'm using Y01 on my darkest point, and this is a point-to-point fix, whereas on my Frenchie, I swept it under. And so we're just gonna go up, and we're just gonna blend this out and tap this over my darkest point. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit more, and I'm gonna go down this trough. Lightness pulls out, so I go into the trough, and then I lift it just by adding that little bit of lightness. I'm gonna stay on this fluffy end. I'm gonna go into 03, which is a bit orange, and I'm gonna clean up this area. And this helps to hide. And for each person, you can keep tweaking at it. I like to go lickety split, and then I'm going to use my brightener. A lot of mature under eyes only need demi, and you're done. Okay, and so it's your face. Finish it how you want to finish it. So those are two options for your under eyes because you don't want anything thick or dense under your eyes. So now we're going to go in and we're going to start doing our makeup. So I'm going to try to find a Brett here. When you have sorry, I'm getting over things and I'm still trying to bang out my tutorials, and I'm mic free because I got a new phone. Anyways, when you are doing your makeup and you have, say, hormonal breakouts and you have texture, It's not adding more that's going to cover it, but using something that's 80% pigmentation rather than 18% pigmentation means you still get coverage and you have less product on your face. Think about your foundations. You have your light coverage BB creams, and then you have your medium coverage foundations. Then there's those different products that are full coverage foundations, but you can't make a full coverage a light coverage, right? You can with Seint. This is light, this is medium, this is full. Instead of changing your foundations, you change your brush. So you could use a light coverage brush. This is the blend brush. This is what I use to correct because I want it light. I am a medium to full coverage girl. So let's see, I'm gonna use the buff brush. This is a good dense brush. The bristles are packed together so they hold the product and you get really great coverage. Now I can go in and I'm gonna use a main highlight. This is Athens, and I'm gonna balance my skin. So I have unbalanced acne scarring and hormonal breakouts. And I'm just gonna tap this in, and I'm gonna tap and I'm gonna blend. I'm gonna bring this in around the nose, into that creased area, into my smile line, around my chin, and I'm gonna come down. Now I have some hormonal breakouts here, but I don't ever decide if it needs extra coverage until everything's on, and then I can spot treat. That way I don't over apply my makeup, because if you have large pores or you have acne and you're trying to cover it, if you put too much cream on it, too much anything, powder, concealer, you're gonna texturize it, because as a breakout lifts your skin, it spreads those pores that are on top. And so less is more, okay? Less is definitely more. And powder texture is going to accentuate that raised breakout. And so I'm just taking this and I stipple mine around. This is really great for mature skin. So if your skin has a lot of movement, or you like to have a more, I feel that this just gives a more skin-like finish, is the stippling method. And I'm just using Athens and I'm going over my acne scarring for the coverage, but I'm not bringing it up and around up here because I don't need it. I have a pretty decent for it. I have some hormonal breakouts, but I don't need to stack my foundation and my contour like you do with traditional makeup, because everything here is your foundation. Everything. All right, I'm gonna switch my brush. I'm gonna go to the detail brush because it has this great small end, but it has this end that's great for contouring because it's skinny, but it's wide and it's flat. I'm gonna go into my contour. I like to use Cedar, and I do this before I do my concealer color. All right, we're gonna just sweep across the forehead, and I have my hormonal breakouts here. Anytime you're covering a breakout that's a little bit red, you go a little bit darker. Your contour is foundation and your contour is darker than your skin. And so you're not needing to stack your foundation on top of it because it's going to give it coverage. So we're gonna put this on, and then we're gonna put on our bronzer, we're gonna put on all of our concealer stuff, and then we'll look at those and say, do they need help? Because understanding red versus texture, because we can see those, they are a texture. We don't like them, but I don't want to draw more attention to them. I'm going to go on each side of my nose, and I'm going to contour my nose. That's why I love this brush. It has those straight squared edges that just, I like to be very precise. I don't like to smear it around and make a mess and then clean a mess. I'm tidy with my contour. I like to reserve my product too. I don't smear on more than I need to blend it down. I like to make my tiles last as long as possible, because they do last as long as traditional makeup. So I just took a concealer, which I use White Peach, it's just the lighter color, and I just swiped that down the middle of my nose. And then I can go right here, and I'm gonna brighten and cover, and I'm gonna push this over my brows and up and in to my contour. And as they blend together, they create a foundation of balance. I also have dimension and coverage. Balance, dimension, and coverage. That's a nice looking forehead. We're gonna grab a little bit of bronzer here. It's right next to my contour, and I'm just gonna bronze. I always bronze around my eye. Like that. Just like that. I always go around the eye. Then I can go into my contour, and I'm gonna push up on my cheekbone here. So the difference between a bronzer and a contour is cool versus warm. And I always underblend this. I want it to be sharp. Now this isn't for everyone. If you want it to be a little bit lighter, make it a little bit lighter. It's your face. Make it look how you want it to look. But this is how I like it to look. And my brows will die down as this all comes together. And so now I'm just touching up the hairline. There we go. There we go. All right, whatever's left on my brush, I'm gonna push in front of my earlobe and down the jaw. This also goes over some of those hormonal breakouts. So again, I don't add until I need to at the end because we don't want to over apply because it looks thick, it looks cakey, and we don't want to look like a birthday cake. I did for the first week I was wearing this makeup, so if you feel like you do, don't worry, you're not alone, I did it. All right, we are gonna go in, I'm gonna add a little bit more brightening to my Cupid's bow and to my chin here. Easy, easy, all right? I'm gonna use my light brush because again, like I said, under your eyes, it's light coverage, less is more, okay? I use my Frenchie, which gives me a shade of pink. I use Demi over here. They give very much the same result, okay? Now, I like something that does more than one thing, which is why I prefer Frenchie, and I think Frenchie's a little faster. So I took my brightening, which is my white peach color, like a concealer. I'm gonna go under this trough, and I'm gonna bring it up into that inner corner. I'm gonna go up that orbital bone right here, and then up onto that soft tissue, okay? Again, when you're thinking about texture, you're not able to erase puffiness. So this looks really nice, right? This looks really nice. I'm just blending it into that bronzer. I still have texture. It's still there. But going under the trough and bringing it around the area and then lightly bringing it to the area, that is what's going to camouflage the texture, and then you can hide it without accentuating it. We can hide the puffiness with a color. We can correct the darkness without accentuating and making it look crepey because you're using so little product. So again, we're gonna grab this, we're gonna go over that Demi. Anytime you're correcting under your eye, tap. And that's another reason why I tap on my face is because I do have correctors on that I don't want it to mix too much. I want it to stay where I put it, so tapping it helps. And we're just gonna go up and around just like we did on the other eye. Blend the edge and it looks nice. The texture is still there. It's just hiding it because you go around the area. If I were to just put that brightener on the puffiness, it would accentuate it. So coming outside of it and blending it in helps. And that's the tip. I love my tips and tricks. I like to share tips and tricks. I love this makeup and I want other people to love it too. So I share every idea I could ever come up with. And then as I talk to you guys, I get more ideas and more tutorials. All right, we're gonna go in ahead and we're gonna do our blush. I am going to go back to my buff brush and I'm gonna use these two colors. I've been loving them together, an orange and a pink. Who knew? I knew. All right, I'm gonna go into Sandstone. This is my favorite color. And I always start my blush up here on the high point of my cheekbone, and then I'm gonna bring it down onto my apple, okay? Grabbing that Sandstone, we're starting up here, we bring it up, and then I always smile. As you age, you lose volume in your cheeks. And so we smile and bring it down. I'm gonna use the other side just to blend this out a little bit. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of pink. We're gonna add some pink up here because it looks so good together. I think it does anyways. I mean, it's spring. I can't tell it's spring right now. It's foggy and rainy here, but it's spring on my face, all right? And I'm gonna take this little end that's pointy. I'm gonna grab some of my contour. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna add a little shadow and a little Gomez Adams. We're just creating a little shadow here to make our lip look like it has a curl. I'm gonna clear my throat and I'm gonna grab Renaissance. Love this color. And we're gonna sweep this down as a liner. I love this color. It has been a favorite color of mine. I used to use a Wet n Wild color that was extremely similar, and then MAC came out with a color when Wet n Wild stopped making it, and I've been using this kind of color as a lip liner. Revlon used to have one too, and it was a color stay lip liner, very drying, and they even had a lipstick, but I've gone beyond those days. And now I'm gonna go and grab a really beautiful summer color that's called Summer Love. And I want to use that because it's so darn pretty. I use it, I've hit 10. I use it all the time. This Renaissance color, it is a satin finish, but it is very dense. It's great for mature lips if you have the lines. I don't use all the things, so I have the lines. And with that, it creates a barrier so your lipsticks and glosses don't bleed onto your skin. All right, I'm just gonna use this multitasker brush, and I'm using Summer Love with Renaissance, and it's just the most, I think it's the perfect summer lip. Okay, Renaissance and Summer Love. It's the perfect summer lip. All right, so that's my lips. And now I'm gonna go ahead, and this is where I can go and look at my face and I can say, okay, what needs attention, okay? Any breakouts that are slipping through, I have one right here that's bugging me. These are texture, and so I can't take away the texture, and if I were to pile more makeup on, it would accentuate them. And so I have to just leave them. My hair can cover them, but understanding you can't erase texture. You can't make a mountain a plain, okay? So don't try. By picking, don't try. Picking causes swelling, and it's just gonna make it bigger. And so just let it lie. It's the hardest thing to learn to do. I had to learn the hard way, and that's why I got a hot mess on my face with scars. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fix this guy, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go a little bit, this is my breakout color. So this is a little bit darker. This is Hazel, so my main highlight is Athens. I go a little bit darker, and I'm gonna go to Hazel, and I'm gonna just tap that over my little pimple here. A little bit darker. The texture is there, the color is not. I have another one right here. Okay, then I can go ahead and I can take my setting spray. Now I have oily skin. You can wear creams and have oily skin. I'm using Urban Decay Be Slick. All right, and then I'm gonna take, I made a little palette of powder. I'm take a fluffy brush, and I start on the perimeter of my face, and then I bring it in. And this helps to just, you know, oil, set my face. But I never put powder on the mid of my face. Powder's always gonna create texture. I'm gonna go over those little zits. And then when I think my brush is empty, I go on the mid of my face, and then I can go under my eyes. So with this method, powder's always gonna change the consistency of a makeup, a cream, a foundation, a concealer, whatever. It's just, think of gravy. So go light. If you're gonna use a loose powder like Laura Mercier, I do use it on occasion, tap into the bristles, turn it upside down so that the bristles are pointing up, and tap it into the bristles. Don't let it stay packed on the top. And then put it on and let it build and spread. And then you can take your setting spray and spray again. Same brush, no powder added, and press that setting spray in. And it will give you a really beautiful, long-lasting finish. All right, texture is texture. Skin is a texture. Embrace the beauty of your skin. You only get one skin. Embrace the beauty of the skin you're in, and understand skin is a texture, and we can work with it so that it doesn't work against us. But less is more. Finding a cream that's well pigmented like Seint is going to help way more than piling on layers of makeup. I tried the layers of makeup. I've lived in the layers of makeup, and seeing your skin come to life the first time you try cream is an adjustment. I'm not going to say it's a life changer. It's an adjustment, being able to see your skin again. And so give it the time it deserves with the makeup. Let your skin adjust to something new that lets your skin live again. Talk to me. Let's do a color match. Let's talk about the process. Let's customize a palette. Let's do this. Let's do this together. I love this makeup. I want you to love it. And have a great day.